All right, round 2 of Mailbag Monday on the Mosley Jaguar channel. Today's channel is being sponsored by, well, I wish it was sponsored, but this I stole from the wife's liquor cabinet, but we're going to start with this today. We have 5 wonderful packages that we are going to open here today. And if anybody has any questions on how to do this, I would suggest purchasing a hot air gun. These work really well on these thermal print packages. So as you can see, we have 5 packages. We're trying to do some kit building, which is going to keep me sane while my other half is on the train here in the Rocky Mountaineer in BC. Anybody actually gets the chance to do it, I would suggest it. You get to see the majesty of Canada. Let's start with the largest box that we currently have. Out comes my wonderful knife, and we simply cut and cut. I don't remember what any of these are. I ordered them weeks ago, but that's what happens when you ship from China. Let's see if I can actually get into one of them. One package, 2 package, oh, and empty box. I almost forgot that bullet bourbon is wonderful, especially if you're making, as my wife calls it, Irish potatoes. They are sweet yams with lots of butter, some sugar, and of course, a significant amount of bullet bourbon. They will make your world a much better place. Salute. So, cutting into the first package here, let's bubble wrap. We have the PCB, wonderful blue PCB. Ooh, those are fairly well laid out. Nice silk screen on this. I think this one, based on the kit, looks like a tube amplifier that I ordered. Very basic tube amplifier. Components obviously very well laid out, and this feels like, there we go, there's the tubes. These are, pardon the mess, these are, very carefully cutting this open. Just ignore the 3D printer in the background. I'm trying to make some new rails for my Yaesu FT891. We're going to go for a man pack on that. These, very carefully opening them, look like these are Chinese tubes. I don't think you can see them with the glare. I can't read them. They look like a 6K1. So these are a tube amplifier with all of the components, and we will be building this later in this week as a kit build because, well, let's face it, I need something to do on the weekends while my beautiful wife is not at home. So let's pack all this up, and we'll put the tubes up here so we don't break them, because as everybody knows, if you break this little nib off here, the tube don't work so well. In a few years since I played with valves, but I do remember knocking the nibs off the top of them has a bad plan. But if all else fails and you can't reach, very large tweezers will definitely help you put all of the components back in the bag. Shout out to Adrian's Digital Basement. That's the inspiration for this style of video. And we also have Terrence Pop at redonkulous.com. And we have Tundra Nation. The boys over there at Tundra Nation do a lot of gaming videos, so if you're into that kind of stuff, they do a lot of live stream almost daily. Just look for the big bearded guy. He will get you on the right track. Okay, moving along. This is another very large component, or package I should say. I do believe this is a 8x8 LED or addressable display. Again, I've ordered these months ago in an attempt to come up with something to do. And like I said, first stream, let's see how this works. Oh, it does look like, look at that. We have the static bag. Maybe. If I can get this out of the bag without breaking anything. Look at, wow, that is a large amount of LEDs. Wow. So these are labeled as 24. I don't know what that is, but that is, come on, focus. Focus. AVA would say, focus you frack. But there you go, bag 1, bag 2. And inside here is a very, very large PCB from the standpoint of anybody who's designed one. And that one, microcontroller slot, a bunch of driver controllers. Looks like from here I am going to be doing a lot of soldering. And on the back side has the grid, shows a proper DC input. This looks like a serial input, so 5-volt RX, TX, and ground. This looks like a very fun project, which will be coming later in the stream. Hey look, more people are messaging me. And from here, we are going to do, wow. Let's see, what is in here? Standard sockets. This is a 12C5A60 Sierra 2 microcontroller from STC. Obviously, these are DuPont connectors. Oh, look, they sent us a USB to serial, so USB to TTL adapter, so we can program it. They gave us lots of screws, a USB to barrel jack for 5 volts, I'm assuming, a generic controller. This looks like a 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch cable. Last time I checked, I don't have the measurements, but we can pull out the old Starrett here. We can measure this. Pretty close to 1/8 inch. A length of wire, I don't know what this is for yet. There is no instructions whatsoever in this bag, so construction is going to be interesting. Some pin headers. These are the standard push style pin headers. That looks like a IR receiver. It's a DC barrel jack, which I'm going to assume works with the controller. Standard double position, double throw. Pretty amazing. These are 250 mic by 16 volt polarized SMD capacitors. Sorry, brain fart there. 3 very large, for some reason, LEDs. We'll have to test those out and see what color those are. That looks like a crystal. A crystal of 22.1184. You're probably not going to see that on my very bad camera, but we're going to go there. Pin headers, simple push button. That looks like a surface mount audio jack. And then we have another surface mount audio jack. We have a standoff, another standoff, 2 more standoffs. 1, 2, so 4 screws, nope, 5 screws. They gave us an extra. And we need to bring our tweezers back in here. Do this, so that makes 5 screws and 5 nuts. which worked for that. These look like line drivers, but I don't have my glasses on because I am half blind. So let's do this, do this, do these, do this, do this, do this. Okay, so line drivers these look like. These are much too small. Wait a minute, I shall find my glasses. And no, this is not a green screen in the background. This is the man cave. These are 74 HC55Ds, they look like. Line drivers, these are a strip of diodes, very clearly diodes. These are 103 capacitors, and these are resistor, nope, those are capacitors, sorry, that I don't have numbers on. And these ones are, look like transistor drivers, which I can't read because of the glare. So that is all that is in that kit. So nice giant circuit board right here. All the parts on the back side, which once I get my solder paste, I think on the 15th, after Valentine's Day, I will put those together. So they're not through hole. And then we have to figure out how to actually build the LED arrays, because I'm not sure how we are going to put this giant bag of diodes on top of each other in order to make an 8x8. But I do believe the 8x8 is a fairly large array, something I've always wanted to build, never had the ability. So that is that kit. And of course, the tube amplifiers. I'm going to put this up here. Next up, I'll move these out of the way. We don't know what this is because it doesn't have any description on it. But any of you YouTubers who are trying to take packages from China and you don't want your personal details on them, we shall take the hot air gun. I'll turn it on. I've got it set for 425 when it decides it wants to power up, because it has a magnetic interlock on it. Pick it up. There we go. Sucking air in here, keeping the handle cool, and then blowing it out through the end, which is quite warm. And then any thermal paper that you're going to get, like this barcode here, just simply do this, and it will obliterate whatever you're working on. So anybody who wants to get into the YouTube game, simply do that. And then simply put it back over there. Now we will take a wonderful knife here, which is my EDC, everyday carry. Do this, cut across. Apparently I need to sharpen it. Somewhere in here is a package. Oh, this was supposed to be a kit, but apparently it's not. So we're going to take this, we're going to slice across here. It's a silicone, or silicone, so it doesn't matter. This one is a, oh, this is the thermometer kit that I ordered. I originally ordered this as an actual kit to be assembled, but this itself is probably going to get a very, very large extension put on this, and I have an antenna farm that's going to go up on the roof, which I think is going to utilize this so that I can tell what the temperature is up on the roof. But it has a 3-digit display, set, positive, negative, not sure what that is, and then it has a relay output. So I think that this is used to turn on some kind of external load once a particular temperature preset has been met. But this is not what was listed when I purchased this on Alley. It was listed as a kit, i.e. build it, but I guess the listing wasn't made correctly. All right, moving on to the next one, which is shipping something lots of information there, which is of no help because I don't read Mandarin yet. And we will open this. Ooh, what's this? We might have a new, nothing else in the package. Take a sip, because sip. If any of you have any kits that you'd like to suggest, I'm all for suggestions, provided they're not insanely expensive, because let's face it, we at Mosley Jaguar are running on a shoestring budget and whatever the wife doesn't notice on the credit card. So let's try to keep the pricing fairly low. This is, we open this up, a lot of information that I cannot read. But we know from the circuit, if we attempt to Big Clive this, which I probably can't do, because most of these are in Mandarin. So we have an output. One looks like it goes to ground. And I don't know what the N44E. So we have, here's the circuit board. So based on this, we have two LEDs. I'm going to assume the resistors for the LEDs. We have a connector, which is going to be J1, which is over here. So if we do this, J1 is here. J2 is going to be here. We have a red LED, so we should go through and check these off as we go. J2, J1, red LED, and now from here we have a blue LED. Check this off. We have two transistors, it looks like, which I'm going to assume are these, because I don't have my magnification. They both label as 44E, and those are, oh wait, 344 C16Ks is what they look like. So I'm going to make an assumption that that's these two 3-pin devices. However, once I get the magnification out, I'll be able to tell a little bit closer. So let's check this off, this off. We have a standard, looks like 4001 diode, which is actually listed as a 4148, which is right there. And two resistors, 1, 2, which means this here and this here. And now these two capacitors, they're both listed as 104. We pick this up, roll it over, too far. Clamp this way, no markings. Clamp this way, no markings. So it looks like two no marking capacitors, which I'm going to assume are 104s, which are there and there. All the components for that one, which I don't know what this does, but we can assume this is a straight cross, cross to cross, so ground. Okay, so pin 1 to pin 1, pin 1 to pin 1. Those are backwards. Okay. I don't know what this does. This is labeled HYDZ. I'll have to look and see what the listing is, but I'm going to think that this is some kind of human detection system, but we shall move forward with this. Okay, all these components back into the bag. Again, a good pair of tweezers will save your fingertips and not throwing parts on the floor. Don't worry, we have rescued the blue LED. So we're going to do this and do this. All the components are back in there, fold and fold. And we're gonna seal this back up like this. All right, so this leaves the actually quite a heavy package. So we're gonna have a look here at our package. And knock everything down to the bottom. Oh, is this the radio I ordered? Nothing else in the bag. Lots of components. So I think this is the FM radio that I had ordered, since I have a lot of ham equipment. Like a 2-meter Baofeng that I have currently loaded up here. I also have a HF rig, which is the Yaesu 891 sitting above my head, and a Yaesu, what is this? Or sorry, a ICOM IC475 on the floor that needs some fixing. So let's look and see what we have. This looks like a standard board. I'll open this up. Wow. So if we put all of this off to one side, remember silicon theoretically doesn't generate ESD, but the bench is wood and the majority of the stuff on here is grounded. So I'm not Big Clive, so I'm not going to try to troubleshoot this. However, this diode array here looks like the diode array up here. These are all capacitive coupled to ground. The jumper on the top. Yeah, or sorry, the jumper. Sorry, let's redo this here. J3 looks like J3 here. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are LEDs across the top. The primary chip here, which is the STC. Hey, we've seen this already today. So this goes into here like this. And it looks like, oof, the speaker has not been treated so nicely with all of the components magnetized to it. So it looks like this is another radio project. I'm not, oh wait, no, I lie, sorry. I am completely out of bounds on this one. This is a laser harp, because these laser diodes fit into here, and then the receivers are what's picking up. As your fingers go across the beams, it then creates the sound. I remembered ordering this, but I didn't know that this was the kit that was coming. So we have, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is the laser harper that I ordered. Okay. So that makes sense. All the resistors, these are CDS cells, which are, as the light changes, the resistance across these two pins, hence the, I'm not sure if you can see this or not, there is a little squiggly line that runs around in here, and that is the junction that then changes the resistance based on the amount of light that's hitting it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I bet you this is number 7. There you go, number 7. There you go. So yeah, this is the laser harp that I had ordered. So not 100% sure on if it's a laser, but we will have to test and see what happens. And I might actually have to 3D print a holder for this in order to be able to do it, because I don't see any stand to actually hold all of the components in order to make a stand for you to wave your fingers in. But that is what we have. That is Mailbag Monday, the first episode. I hope everybody liked it. And if you have any kind of comments, suggestions, etc., by all means, please let me know. And